Welcome back to Likewise Pod. We are so stoked for another week.
Last week was so fun talking about our old dreams, and we are really excited to be diving into our last dreamy episode today. Oh my gosh, wow. The end of September.
Honestly, okay, wake me up when September ends, you know, like
Yeah.
3 days rest. But
Wake me up. That's
September flew by. Like I don't know if it's probably because we went on our trip and so we had like the pre-trip prep, we had the like recovery time and stuff, and then we've been playing catch up, so I feel like that's made September just fly. Like we haven't really had a lot of chill time in September.
yeah, I think so too. I think so too. But man, I feel like October is really gonna go super fast. Even
So,
though I need it to like not, I just need it the time right now to like slow down just a little bit.
yeah, I need time to slow too. I agree. It would just be so much better, and I need real fall. Like all week. This morning it was like 49 degrees in the morning when I was getting ready,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
looked at the weather and saw that it was going to be 85 by lunch.
Oh. No, it's like it's so fall over here. Like
I love
I am actually so sad. I mean, okay, I love fall. Like my favorite time of year um is like the transition from summer to autumn. So like the last few weeks of summer, the first few weeks of autumn. But I'm like I want it to be warm. I don't want it to be in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah. And that's like all I want. I want 50s and 60s so bad. I want rain every day. Oh my gosh. My friends at work know how much I love rain, so every time it's like gonna rain or something, they're like, Sam, Sam, Sam." And we were saying something about like how, like when a season shifts into like your season and you just feel like really powerful. And my friend, she was like, I feel like that's you when it rains, like your eyes just glow and you just start levitating or whatever.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay, but before we get into all of the content of this episode, we're going to start with our rose and thorns. So, Sam, what's your rose and thorn for the week?
Okay, thorn. I guess it's not even for the week, it's just my thorn of the day. I couldn't think of anything else. But I accidentally had dairy today twice because I'm pretty sure my coffee was not oat milk this morning because it got me down bad right after. And then later in the day, I had Jimmy John's salt and vinegar chips, and I didn't know that they had milk. So then I just like restarted that entire thing I went through earlier today again. And it sucked. Uh, and my rose, I was also having a hard time thinking of stuff here, and I think it's just because I feel like lots of like pressure and like things that need to be done right now. So I'm like just stressed. So I'm like, what's my rose? Um, I feel like there's a lot of fun trends on social media right now, which is always fun. It's like just nice when there's something new. My favorite right now is that new Brittany Broski clip from her podcast that everybody's like doing the cap with, where it's like he gets water and fed twice a day, he gets sunlight like on the weekends or whatever. I think that one's like really fun. And then I also love just all the Dancing with the Stars content. Watching Dancing with the Stars, it's been so fun. But I just like I love how much all the like partners are like kind of like mocking each other in their posts and like everybody like recreating the like Brooks and Gleb sitting on the chair mirror pic, like all the other couples doing it is so funny. So I think I've just been entertained online. That's my rose.
That's so funny. Okay, my thorn is that I've just been like so sleepy lately and like not just tired and being like, I don't want to do anything, but actually sleepy. And I just feel like my eyes are about to close all the time. Like all day I've been so sleepy today. And right now, Sam sees me, she's like, what the heck is wrong with her? But yeah, my rose, I don't know why I was having such a hard time like thinking of one, but I was like, I don't know. But yesterday I went to Target and I got a new sweater and two new books and some other stuff. And yeah, I love Target. And then also like I It's not even October, and I already have a couple trips planned for next year that I'm like thinking about and like starting to plan. Well, they're planned, but I need to follow through with them, like buy flights and hotel and oh no, my gosh, I'm gonna be 25 next year, so I can get a rental car without all the extra fees. I guess there's one good thing about turning 25, but man, oh man, not ready. I don't want to
Mm,
be 25.
yeah. Sounds weird. I've kind of been thinking of that the last couple days because I got a Snapchat memory from, and it was 6 years ago. And it was like freshman year lip sync stuff, like practices. And I was like, 6 years ago, I was a freshman in college. Like, that's so long.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, getting old. But then also the other day I had Rockstar by Hannah Montana stuck in my head and I like put it on when I was going to lunch. I was like driving to pick up my lunch and I was just like, you know what? Like I bet only like 10 people in my office could sing all the words to this song with me. And yeah, it was just kind of funny. I was like, I wonder how many people like if I went around and like played this song, like would they know it?
I think you should. I think you
Yeah,
should do that.
little experiment.
That'd be fun.
It would be really fun. There's something else I was thinking of. Oh, being sleepy. Um, yeah, it has not been fun. Right before we like got ready to record, I actually was like thinking I was gonna like take a nap on the couch. Like I was laying there and I could have fallen asleep. And I was like, Easton, I haven't talked yet, but I need to go upstairs because one, my phone was at like 4%. So that was weird also. And I was just like, and if I don't get off the couch right now, I'm gonna fall asleep. Oh,
Yeah.
and I keep falling asleep in the eliminations for the challenge every week because we have to watch it so late here because of our Hulu Live or whatever. So it's like 10 p.m. So then it's always like almost 11:30 when the elimination starts. So we watch it like in the darkness, like in bed, and I just like sleep.
Wait, so do you know who went home last night?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
I actually watched the entire girls' elimination, but I slept through like I watched like the game get explained, I watched it start, and then the next thing I know, I woke up and it was like the very end of the guys, and it was like,
Oh
"Ooh,
my
person."
gosh. Wow. I didn't even real I was like, wait, does so I can't talk to you about it? But then I realized I literally already talked to you earlier. And so if you didn't know before, then now you do.
Right. No, yeah, no, I got
My
told
bad.
wrong. So funny because I like try so hard the entire episode to stay awake, and then when it gets towards the end, it's like, um, I'm like, okay, on the commercials towards the end, I start just sleeping through the commercials because I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't need to watch them. And then I like have a really hard time waking back up and staying awake.
Mm. Okay, you know what? Like, I really don't care about seeing them out at the club.
No, literally, I maybe the club is like kind of when I really start to get sleepy.
Yeah, I'm like, can we just get to like the good stuff? Like,
It's
I'm fine with watching them interact at the house, but I'm there for the challenges and eliminations.
and
You
the
know what?
little
Maybe I'm there for TJ Lavin. I don't know.
I so actually we've talked about this, not me and you, like me and Zeke. But we've talked about the whole clubbing thing too because it used to be on the challenge whenever like they were going out or whatever, pre them going out places, it was more them just partying in the house. The reason we're watching them do that is because they're either one, gonna get in some crazy fights, or two, there's gonna be like lots of like schemy talking happening, which they try to kind of do when they go to the club, but like also it's not as intense or high stakes as it used to be. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
feel super like
So
politically.
now it's boring versus like in the
Yeah, it's
beginning
just
when they started doing it, I was like, yes, give me more. Like I love the club. But now I'm like, get me out of here, like put them back in the house. So like I
I
maybe
feel
I'm
like
just like tired of the competitors and I'm like, just show
yeah,
me TJ. He's
that's
so
true.
funny.
I feel like the club stuff worked really well if it's like single, like individual challenge seasons or like just partners. That's where it was fun because could see like one person kind of going off and snaking around. But where they're already separated into their eras and we already know like these kind of like agreements and like
Yeah.
connections that they have. It just feels like they're sitting around with their friends. So, yeah, that's how it's been feeling.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, sorry. Enough of the challenge.
Yeah, sorry for challenge talk. Guess that's what we wanted to talk about this week.
Yeah, actually, this episode is not We're All Dreamers. We're all competitors on the challenge. Who's
We're also at work today. I'll just recap my day. My friends and I were talking about what reality TV show we would be on or like want to be on if we were going to be like get famous from being on a reality TV show.
what did you say?
Well, first I was like, the problem is I'd be terrible at my favorite shows that I would want to be on. Like I can't be on the challenge. I could not last a second on the challenge, but I
And
want
like I wouldn't eat on the challenge. Like the eating challenges, I wouldn't do that.
to.
And she
Um,
would call me a quitter. I would
but
need a partner like Jay who just really wouldn't eat. And I'd be like, you're kidding. Ah,
yeah,
well, I was gonna eat this, but if you won't, then I won't.
yeah. The Circle, obviously. And
Obviously.
then my thing is I love like dating shows. Thinking about it, I think I would be really good at Are You the One?
Ooh.
Because like it does have the like brain strategy side, and then like the games aren't like hard. They're like fun games, like kind of more
Yeah.
like Love Island. But
Oh, I would love Love Island.
yeah.
I don't think they would love me. I think I'd be too boring for it.
Well, and my friends are like, okay, what about Too Hot to Handle? I was like, I don't think I fit the requirements to be on that show. I have no problem not touching nobody, like not I was like, I could go forever not making
I'd
any
win that game hands down.
so yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. No, one time, okay, like during COVID, you know how people were doing PowerPoint nights all the time? My friends and I, we did that, and one of my PowerPoints was what reality show we would all be on.
I love that.
I put myself on the circle, obviously, and I put our friend group as a group on the challenge together. I
No
was like,
way.
it would just be fun.
Love.
Oh, wow. Anyways, we're all dreamers. These are our dreams of being on reality TV. If you or someone you know has a hookup to the circle, hook us up.
Real. Yeah. We're we're just dreaming. A girl can dream and we love to dream. Um, hopefully it's seemed like that this month. But I'm like trying to think of like last week and how I was just like, I don't have any I was like, I don't have dreams or whatever.
I'm not a dreamer. I'm not like other girls. I don't have dreams.
I was like, my dreams are dead. Like it was just so it was just so sad. They're not dead, but uh I've just been for like a couple months now, I've been really intrigued by the idea of like looking at comparison and like the whole comparison game from like a an angle of just like can we all stop hating each other kind of thing. It's just been on my mind in that way, and I feel like that's really applicable when you're in like a space where you have like these big dreams or like you're in a niche community, and so there's almost this assumption that everybody around you has the same goals and dreams as you. So there's like, well, or just for example, the whole thing recently where everyone's just been like other authors are your coworkers, not your competition, and that
Mhm.
whole type of mindset. And that's really, yeah, like kind of what I was thinking of with this topic is just like we all have our own dreams, and like all we do sometimes is just compare our dreams, like not only like our progress towards our dreams, but I guess just like our success and our dreams in general to what other people are doing. And like kind of like the whole right reasons thing too is just like expecting other people to like want the exact same thing as us and work just as hard as us or, you know, whatnot. Or just like think like, well, if you are in this community, like you would want this or whatever. It's like saying like every indie author would want a trad deal or something.
Yeah, I think that's really good.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that besides just like that. My brain just like circulates this topic all the time. And I think it's just because like on socials, especially threads, there's something new every day of people arguing over like what's right or wrong for
Hmm.
people to want in books or want from authors or like just expectations and like why people do things. And I
Yeah.
think everyone is always putting their expectations on other people, and there's just like a lot of judgment among like the peers in your space. And you don't have to be in the bookish space or be an author or reader to understand this. I think every industry has this where like there's just like big goals that everyone thinks everyone shares.
Yeah. And like I know that this is something that we talk about a lot just in our lives and especially being in multiple spaces, like being in the podcaster space, being in the well, starting to be in the author space and like the bookish community, and like just all these different areas. And it's like our reasons for doing things is so different from other people's. And like the more we learn about these different like industries, I guess, or different areas, different walks, whatever you want to call it, like the more I'm learning about, I mean, obviously, like the more I'm learning about the craft, and then the more I learn about myself, and then the more I learn about like my own why for doing something, or like my own dreams and my own ideas about how things should be done, my own ideas, my own thoughts about like how to get to where I want to be, and like all those things.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like constantly like learning more about yourself and
Yeah.
why you do something, the longer
Yeah.
you do it or whatnot, or hearing other people talk about their why, either sometimes it's like, oh yeah, that really resonates with me. I so agree. Like that's totally why I'm doing this too. Or it's the opposite and it's like, well, I have a completely different why from you.
Hmm.
We're both able to like exist in the same space with different wants and expectations from it. And or like it's like we're allowed to have the same dream and we're allowed to have not the same dream in the same space doing the same thing.
Yeah. Which I think is a really an interesting thing when it comes to like a partnership like we have because we are so similar in like our ideas and wants and desires, and like also very similar in like our thought processes, but then at the end of the day like our dreams for um the podcast, our dreams for the book, our dreams for like just creating like the creative space in general like are very different.
Mm.
I mean, like they're wildly similar, but they're simultaneously like very different from one another.
Yeah. No, that's so true. That's very interesting to think about. Because then it's obviously like, well, we're a partnership, so like
Like,
when
so
like when it
which
comes
dream are we gonna follow?
right. And when it comes time for like decisions to be made, I think, well, then we're also both not very decisive people. Um, which like I don't know,
Unless we feel very strongly about something,
yeah,
but
I think
when does that happen?
it's a good thing sometimes because then it really does feel like we're making a decision together when we do finally make a decision because it's kind of like neither of us likes to be like we're doing this or
Put down sort of
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So it kind of does feel like okay, well if one of us doesn't want to do it, we probably wouldn't be doing it because neither of us are very like decisive. But also it gets hard sometimes because maybe if one of us was really decisive, we would just be like maybe more, I don't know, we would not abandon as many dreams or something. I don't know. Like, but I think we've
Yeah.
done everything right or like I think just we find ourselves having a lot of like game time decisions, I feel like, where we're like
Mhm.
can't sit on this anymore. We have to go one way or another.
Yeah. Which I think is very okay. And like us saying like, oh, we're not very decisive and stuff, like I don't think it's in a bad way sort of thing. Like we're decisive and like we make the decisions we need to make like when they need to be made or like we make the big decisions when we have to, but the small things we're like we can put it off. I don't really care.
Right.
Like it's like small picture stuff that we're like, well, like what does it matter if we go this direction versus that direction? Like both will yield very different results, and so it's just all dependent on like what we want to come after that. But like big picture stuff, we are, I feel like, more decisive and we're able to make those decisions, but we still like talk things out a lot, which I'm surprised about because I get so nervous about talking about things. I'm like, you can just make a decision. Like, if you want to do something, do it. But then I'm like, shoot, no, but this is also my thing. So I'm like, okay, I should have some say. It shouldn't just all be this other person. And then I'm just like tacking my name on it.
Right. Yeah. And I guess that's like an interesting point too, where like not only looking at your dreams in comparison to like other people doing the same thing as you, but like how your dreams coexist with someone you are working together with. I was I was not thinking about that at all when I was like trying to come up with ideas for this episode, but that's so real of like I think also a part of our indecisiveness sometimes, or like when we take longer to make decisions, part of it is us being just like nervous or being unsure. But I think a lot of it is where, because I'm indecisive by myself for my own things, but I think part of it is, yeah, I know we both are, but I'm like, I think we've learned like along the way, like it's just something we do out of like, maybe it's like we're more indecisive and we take longer to do these things out of like respect for each other's like decision-making process. Or like, it's like we both like it's like we try not to make any selfish decisions or like that kind of stuff. Like we're not just like only thinking about ourselves when we like are doing things for podcasts, for book stuff, like anything. Like it's really just like a together mindset where which is I think is something sometimes a lot of partnerships lack. And so then that's where they get into drama or they, flop or oh my gosh, right now I'm just thinking about Call Her Daddy. I'm
That's
literally
what I was thinking about too.
split from Barstool and it's so long ago, like so long ago, like
That was
four.
while we were in college.
Yeah. It was like right after we started the podcast. Like I think it was 2020 or 2021. I think I was at home during COVID when it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was a big deal because it was like it was about them not wanting to make the same decision for the show.
Yeah. So basically we're saying we're perfect. JK.
Yeah, we're so perfect. And how far it's gotten us.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think like the things that are important to us individually, we do those things and then we just like update the other person and the other person's usually cool with it. We're like, oh, I didn't think about that. Cool. And they're like, oh, I don't care. But not like I don't care like, mm, it doesn't like that's not about me, so I don't care about it. But it's like, oh, I don't have a preference sort of thing. Like you do what you gotta do. And I think like it works well for our relationship and our dynamic that we have, but like obviously it's not gonna work for everyone.
Right. And also like sometimes maybe there is times where it's like you can be unsure about like a direction somebody wants to go. And sometimes you just got to be like, let's roll with it. Like if like I'm like I'm a little bit indifferent, but somebody else feels like strongly about it or something, move forward with it and just like see what happens. And if it flops, like maybe it's not necessarily like an I told you so moment, but it's like a we we're learning from that moment. Um,
Hmm.
I'm the one who I'm guilty of this. I'm the one who I'm the one who after Issa's like, no, maybe we shouldn't. And I'm like, yes, let's do it. And then it doesn't go well. And we're just like, we're never doing that again. Um, but I think sometimes it is important to take risks and do things that maybe you're like, I don't know, unsure, comfort zone type things. And
Yeah.
then because sometimes it works out great
Yeah.
into someone's idea that you're unsure about, but also sometimes it doesn't work out and you can just be like, yep,
Yeah. I think also like in that like we're both very confrontation averse and like conflict averse. And so we're like honestly like a lot of times when I don't like an idea or I'm not like super crazy about it, I'll just be like, okay, that's cool, that's fine. But I feel like I've gotten better at not always doing that.
yeah.
Um,
It's like the old unspoken rule of like if you don't say anything. It's like I know you like something when you're like, OMG, yes, or like you're really reacting to it. But if like there's like no reaction and like we
Or
just kind
very, very minimal. That's like, oh,
of pretend we
not
never said
cool.
it, and it's like, okay, never mind.
Oh, yeah. I just, you know what? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I guess I just really took that to heart, and that's just how I do my life. Because I'm thinking about things like from high school, like people would like I remember one time one of my friends like texted a picture of like her hair, like she dyed it all pink, and she like texted our group chat. She's like, "Guys, look what I did," and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, it looks so good, it looks so good." I did not like it, so I said nothing. And then like after it like washed out, like month later or something, she's like, "Yeah, I know you didn't like it." I was like, "What? No, it was great." She goes, "Isa, you didn't say anything about it." I was like, "Oh, my bad." So
Oh,
that was unrelated, obviously, but
right. No, but it's not. It's so funny. We're at a point where we literally share like every thought we have straight out of the dome, like it gets typed. And so I think there's also this weird thing where we know that like 90% of the things that we just like text and like write down and are like, haha, this, or like this random idea, we know it's like out there. We know it's weird. And we just know that that's just how
yeah.
it goes. Like we just text so many thoughts.
Yeah. I mean,
Safe
I've
space.
definitely gone to the point when I think an idea is like not bad, but like maybe not like the best. I just go, "Oh, ha 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 ha." Or and so it's for like, okay, yeah, never mind. LOL. No, but yeah, so just going back to like partnerships, I guess, and having the same dreams as others, but also different dreams within the same dream or the same project, I guess, which is so interesting because I've never thought about that before, but now I am.
Right. I know, I think about that a lot, especially with like the book, because like I'll randomly have days where I'm like, I just remember that I'm like, oh, yeah, I do have like these four other books that like I'm writing by myself or whatever. Like I like randomly remember that and I'm like, oh, yeah. And then like I'll randomly think about the book series and like uh or like I'll talk about something like that'd be a really good book idea or something. And someone will be like, "Oh, yeah, you and Issa will have to write a book about that." And I'm like, then I'll like think about it and I'm like, "Well, we got three books to write first." And I mean, at any point, I guess like also the rest of the series could get abandoned, like no promises, but also like
I
things are
don't
so
think it will.
I don't think it will. Um,
We're excited about those ones.
we are. So I'm
But
just like,
also, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous that we're gonna have to write more on top of the three, like from the same people.
yeah, oh, totally. And so even if it's okay, not to get ahead of myself, but maybe it's like a cute little like spin-off novellas for these other people or
Yeah,
something.
I think novellas would be fine.
Yeah. But
Anyway, sorry, I
um,
digress.
we kind of were like a three-book series, da, 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 da. Like we never were like we're going to be Christina Lauren and we're gonna write like 45 books, like, and this is going to be like our whole lives. Like, I mean, it could be, but also it's just, but probably not. Like, and then I think about like, oh, and I've been trying to think about my publication schedule with like my other books and like how I can get into a groove to like publish those on like the opposite side of the year from our book or whatever. Just figuring all that out. And it's fun. It's fun. But sometimes I'm just like, well, I forget that like I have this whole additional author uh persona I need that I'm supposed to be working on that's not us as co-authors. And it's me by myself.
This whole other author persona.
Even though it's actually the same author, it's me, it's Sam
Oh,
Louise,
dude.
name.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I'll randomly have that thought.
Yeah, that's so funny. No, I think about your other stuff all the time too. I'm like, wow, I'm so excited for those. I'm like,
Right.
when is she gonna work on those though? Because she's so busy with our stuff. And then I feel so bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so busy with our stuff that she can't work on her own stuff. I'm like, I don't want her to like feel like she's too wrapped up in like ours and like she doesn't have her own identity outside of us because she's her own person and in two literally different states. I'm like, I'm not her end all be all. But what if I accidentally am?
That's so funny. One time I was like, oh my gosh, like I was like, what if somebody reads our book and they don't like it and then they don't want to read my book?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
It's also like, wait, if they don't like our book, they probably won't like my book because like I'm sorry.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I I hope we inspire other people to co-write books with their best friend because I think that's so fun.
Yeah, I do think I have been thinking that my writing is very different in my other books than the way I write in ours. But also, I don't know if you've had this too, where now that we're at like the end of the book and like we learned so much through the process and whatever, and we changed certain things about the way we write, I have had moments where I've felt like I'm writing so different from how I wrote when we wrote the beginning of the book, where I'm like, is this better? Where I'm like, wait, is someone gonna like get to the end and be like, wow, this is a lot better than the beginning?
Oh my gosh, like the Twilight movies.
Yeah.
Embarrassing, but oh well, that's how it goes.
Which obviously that's why you edit. Like that's
Yeah, I
why,
guess we'll find out during edits in the next
yeah,
few
it's
weeks.
gonna be
Oh,
like somewhere along the way you learned how to actually write.
I'm so scared for edits. I'm excited, but I'm so scared.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, can we just publish as is? I'm dead.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
funny.
gosh. We only have 2 minutes left. I want to cry. I thought it was gonna be short, but now we're just on.
And then we accidentally talked about reality TV.
I know, I'm so sorry. My bad.
But yeah, we have a same dream, but also different dreams within our same dreams. And then I guess also like when you have the same dream as someone, you obviously have different routes to get there. Like you have different ways of accomplishing the same dream as someone else. And then also you could have two different dreams and do all the same things as someone. Kind of crazy. Layered.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And it kind of just like brings me back to like our right reasons episode. Like your dreams are gonna be your dreams are gonna be your dreams are gonna be your dreams. Like your dream might be the same as someone else's dream, but you're gonna have different whys. You're gonna have different reasons behind it. And then so you might have different like ways of getting there. You might have different um you'll definitely have different perspectives, but like even if you work on it with someone like and it's a common goal, but yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, it is fun. And um watch me think for this entire minute. So I lost my train of thought. I don't remember. It was a good thought too. It was
That's
really
so
good.
funny.
Oh, sad. Oh, oh, just like um people can be new to a dream you've had for a long time, and it doesn't mean you want it more than that.
Oh, yeah. That's something I would really struggle with.
And it
Yikes.
doesn't make them less deserving.
Yeah. I think about that a lot with like being like a fan of an artist and then being at a concert and someone who like doesn't know all the songs gets front row, gets the rail, and then I'm behind them and I'm watching them like not sing along and I'm like, I'm singing along.
Right.
Like, oh, dang. But if they paid the money to get VIP to get rail first, I guess.
But yeah, yeah. Everyone's just trying to achieve their dreams. And yeah, maybe someone is trying to copy you, but they just think your dream's really cool. And they're like, yeah, that'd be really awesome.
Yeah, I found myself being not a victim of that, but like I guess a perpetuator. Like I copy other people's dreams and not like intentionally, but I'm like, wow, that person is so cool. I want to be like them. So then
They're
I do,
having so much fun doing that. I should say.
yeah. So then I like do what other people do. And then I like one of my friends like called me out before when I was like 10 or 11. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just obsessed with you. So I've tried, finding my own identity outside of my peers, my friends, because I really don't like when people copy me.
Well, it's like so important to like, find your own identity and really find like, does this align with the things I want? Or yeah, like what's my why in doing this? Like, is this the right thing? Because when you, I don't know, it's like when you're surrounding yourself with like people doing similar things to do, it's really easy to get like just looped in with them and be like, we're all on the same mission. We're all doing the same thing here. We're in this together, like kind of thing. But then you have moments where you're like, are we? Do we actually have the same want out of this? Um, and then like, are you gonna judge me if I say I don't want that, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's something yeah, the judgment of it. So
Mm.
rough.
Especially like, I guess we also have like the unique side of like being in the bookish space from two angles of like being in it from the podcast and then now also like being authors. It's so interesting because we're kind of sometimes I feel like we're in such a neutral position when it comes to certain takes or controversies I see people talking about because especially if it's like drama about like something that's like I don't know, just people beefing. Like oh
Hmm.
like other podcasts or other authors or things like this, it's just like a completely different perspective because for so long all like a lot of our author relationships was from the podcast side and like just knowing people in that I don't know in that realm and in the side of like inviting them on interviewing them and doing all this stuff and then now we're on a different side where we're friends and in like advice like safe author space community like group chat type situations. I know it's interesting to think about both sides and think about
Hmm.
how different the like communication or conversations or things are there and just the our perspective of having like a I don't want to call our podcast a like bookish business, but like we somewhat bookish media type things. Like we were an outlet that people, were coming on and being guests and doing this stuff. And then now, so sometimes I'm randomly just like, oh my gosh, should we be like, should we be trying to go on podcasts? Like I had that thought the other day. I was like, wait a second, is this what other people like think about like going on podcasts? But then like from our experience of being a podcast and having people ask to come on and like think about it, I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know if I want to like go just DM someone I don't actually have a relationship
Hmm.
and ask to be on.
Yeah. No, I've had the same thoughts too. Like,
Not that I
and
and I like
not that we don't want people to reach out and ask to be on,
but
but like us as individuals, like that's very out of character for us. And I'm not saying that it's not a good growth point or it wouldn't be a good growth point or it wouldn't be something that could be very beneficial to us as individuals, as a collective, as authors, as podcasts, as whatever. But as of right now, I don't think that's something that we will likely be doing.
right. I think it's common and so much respect to everybody who uses this in their marketing strategy because it makes sense and it is great advice and it's a good tactic. Like a lot of people, I see so many videos of people saying if you're a debut author and you're just like promoting your next release or whatever, like they say like so many people are just saying get on as many podcasts as you can because podcasting is huge and all this stuff, and get as many like newsletter interviews as you can and like newsletter swaps, all this stuff, because it's just really word of mouth. It gets you out there to like all these audiences. And it's like, that's great advice. I love that. But then also hearing that as a podcast is hard sometimes because to us, it feels like the intention here is only to check off another podcast on your list, that like your strategies, you just want to be on as many as possible, which great, I love that. But then to me it's like, what value is this bringing me if we're not going to build a real relationship? Because
Yeah.
there are podcasts that are solely guest based, and I think that's where we get different, because we're not Nick Vile. We don't just have people on every week and interview them in depth and all this stuff. Like that's not our brand. And so it's just something we tread lightly with because we're, I don't know, we're not like just a radio show that needs a guest every week just as much as you want to be on a podcast every week.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I've thought that, especially with some guests that we've had in the past. And I'm not saying this as a knock. I'm not saying this as like, okay, I wish we didn't have this person on anymore. But like it I thought we were going to be like one of the first, and like there's maybe like a couple other podcasts they're on, but then seeing them like just kind of pile and pile and pile and pile and pile on, I'm like, oh, so they wanted this solely for their exposure, which is totally fine. That's totally fine. But like they weren't looking for relationship outside of it, which also totally fine, but also us as people, like Sam and I, we value relationship a lot. And so that's something that whether we know a guest really well coming into an episode or not, like that's something that we really strive for afterward.
Yeah.
And so it's been a little disheartening, like seeing people like just go on podcast after podcast after podcast, or like to be doing all these other things. And it's like, oh, like it almost, this is gonna sound so like derogatory pick me, but like it's almost like, oh, so we weren't special? Like what we had wasn't good enough?
Well, it's like sometimes it's like, yeah, great, but then other times I'm like, is this actually helping anyone? Because if I'm seeing it that way, like I bet like 90% of your audience feels that way too. Um, or like the other people seeing it, or I bet like the other podcasts are also maybe feeling the same way. Um, and then also, I mean, I guess just to us, it's like it's just as much as we want to have on people we want to be friends with and we love their content and we like their books and all this stuff. You should want to be on our podcast because you like our content and you know us in a sense, or you have listened and you're like, yes, these are conversations I'm comfortable having, because it is also like your responsibility if you want to be on a podcast to know what kind of content you're getting yourself into, or like that you want to engage in that conversation, or that you think that podcast's audience would like your book, because otherwise you're shouting into a void. Um,
Hmm.
because if you don't like a podcast's content and you don't resonate with their episodes and you don't like, if you don't find anything valuable in the podcast, what's really gonna like, is that helping you at all to promote yourself on that show? Like me, uh, you're not gonna find me going on the Joe Rogan Experience and
Oh,
saying,
you're not? I thought you were
hey,
scheduled for next
hey,
week.
hey, Joe Rogan, this is my poetry book. I think your fans are going to love it. I couldn't think of any other podcast besides like Nick Vile and Joe Rogan right now. Yeah,
Of the two, I would have picked Joe Rogan for you to use that like as right now. Yeah.
totally. Um, or just like, yeah, like go where it makes sense to do a collaboration, I guess.
Hmm. And that's not saying like to do something that's out of your comfort zone or do something that might not be like your super intended audience. But at the same time, like, yeah, you want to reach a whole bunch of people with like whatever your craft is, whether it's a book or whether you're another podcaster or you're trying to, I don't know, like be on a TV show, like if you're a challenger or something, like it's probably best to like keep your target audience in mind and like branch out a little bit, but don't have to do too much. Because if you branch out too much, then no one's gonna be paying attention from that, you know?
There's power in authenticity, and
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
people know if it's not authentic, you can tell.
Like if we were to go on a gaming podcast, like where they play like Fortnite or something, and that's all they talk about. And we're like, yeah, so we're writing a book. It's a YA romance about a rock star. Who's gonna read that? All the gamers, all the Fortnite gamers that they have listening? Probably
Right.
not.
Exactly. So just like, yeah, like finding your right space in your communities, like I do think it's really important to be friends with people who are in different niches in your same space. Like, I do think it's important for us to be friends with people who do podcasts that aren't just like ours and people who write books in different genres from ours or subgenres, I guess. I don't know if I know too many people with full on different genres. But like it's good to like diversify your community in that way because your niche that you make content for and your niche that you consume content for are oftentimes very different. So like you can be a fan of and be part of someone's audience without making that type of content. So and you can always it's important to learn from people outside of your space. So like I'm not by just only, engaging with bookish accounts on the podcast, like I'm not going to learn and share information about podcasting in general. That's where the podcast community comes in. They don't need to be bookish podcasts. They just need to be podcasts we like. And then like on the book side, like, yeah, you can always learn something from people who write in other subgenres from you. That's where we get these really cool new blends of different genres coming together and like people really loving how authors are mixing these different subgenres together because, you just get well read on it. You have friends in your community who like teach you new things, all the good stuff. There's just like so much power in having a very widespread community, but also knowing where your place is, finding your people.
Yeah. Oh, that's so important. Because then you can like find people who have similar dreams to you, right? I mean, it might not be like the exact same thing, but at least it's in the same realm. It's at least in like the same vicinity of one another. So then you guys can like bond and you can talk about it. And then it won't feel like such a scary thing and be like, because if I were to like talk to podcasters or something, be like, oh yeah, I'm writing a book. I want to be an author. Some of them might be like, okay, that's great for you. A little weird, but whatever. And others will probably be like, oh my gosh, that's so fun. That's so exciting. But like that's not the right space for it, right? And so it's something that like being in the right space for it um is really important because then you can have that like bonding and like that commonality. If
Mm.
I were to like talk to like just like a bunch of creatives, be like, oh yeah, I'm trying to write a book. That's totally fine because then one, you're reaching out, but you're in like the right space for writing a book. Or and then people who like don't really know about it, I mean, some might be like, oh, that's weird, but it's not like a totally different thing. Like writing a book and podcasting is just a creative space. So then you're still branching out and meeting new people and having new people come and find you, I guess, or like you're finding others. But I don't know, like if that makes sense. But um, sorry, my mind went blank in the middle of all that. I was like, what am I saying? Anyways, but yeah, so finding commonality and like something to bond over with people so then you can have that relationship. You can have those relationships, but also knowing the right spaces to branch out into.
Hmm. Yeah, just like know your audience, like knowing who you're talking to. This is so funny how this turned into like it's still related to our topic, but like I'm like, wait, what's this advice? I
How
don't
do
know.
we get here?
Like we're like community building experts. Um, but like just knowing your audience or like
Florida girls and us.
right. Like ultimately, like originally we kind of spent a long time being like, we're not gonna make an Instagram for our Like we're not going to make a author Instagram for us like writing our co-authored books because like I was like I already have mine, or like I was kind of like maybe personals, or like we could just do it on Likewise. But then like it kind of hit us that we were just like we can't do this on Likewise because like then you're playing with mixing two audiences that maybe don't need to cross over. Yes, we can share things. We're like excited to share all our stuff on Likewise constantly, but and we know a lot of our community over there is super into books, but it would be annoying if it was all on one Instagram. It would just be hard to manage, like one feed, or people who don't want to see book posts every other day would ultimately be like, I don't want to follow this podcast anymore.
Yeah, it's like you're signing people up for something they don't want to follow.
Yeah,
And so that was something that we're like, okay, no, we do need to make another Instagram and like another social page and figure that out instead of just using our one. Because as much as we really wanted to use our one, couldn't. And now I know that we're both glad that we
right.
did make another one.
Sometimes like it's hard because you're like, oh wow, like I did not think about having to like try to grow this from scratch and like really just like get people to like want to follow us and pay attention. But it's just like, oh, now it's actually just like we think so much more about our content needing to be like good, or like people wanting to care about it. And I feel like if you're sometimes when you're just like so steady, or you have like your account that's kind of has its established audience, you don't think about it as much. Like, of course, you want your content to be good, but you might not be thinking every single day, like, this could be a make or break post. Like this will be the one that will get people to like us.
hmm Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, dreams are dreams are personal, dreams are public. We already learned that last week, I guess. Um, but it also, with dreams being so like personal and public facing, like yeah, there's the whole like judgment thing, and they're there for everyone to comment on, and just gotta learn to be strong in your dream. Find people who share your dreams, or even if like your friends don't share the exact same dreams as you, they know and support your dreams to where you can lean on them and they can like lift you and validate your dream when you're questioning it, because people are me, you know?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. I need
Nice
someone to be
talk.
like, you can do it when you're just like, this is hard. Should we even be doing this?
Yeah, just again, community is so important. So find your community, find the people that are gonna lift you up and be excited for you when it's hard for you to be.
Yeah, real.
The end.
Yeah.
JK. Unless, actually, I don't have more to say, so
No, I don't either. I feel like we probably had our best moments already.
yeah, I agree. So we're gonna end this episode with Song of the Week. Sorry, that was the driest transition there ever was. It's so funny. Anyways, Sam, what is your song of the week this week, last dreamy week of September?
All right. My song of the week is Doomsday by Landon Conrath. Great song. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. It's really fun. It's upbeat. And I'm just really excited for the direction that Landon's been going with these new songs.
So true. My song of the week is Doomsday by Lizzie McAlpine. Wow, how funny. JK, I only did that because she chose Doomsday by Landon Conrath. I was like, how funny would that be if I chose it Doomsday by Lizzie? And then I did. Um, it's I love that song. It's so good.
That is one.
Sad, but it's so good.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. Actually, I haven't listened to Doomsday by Landon. My bad. But I just know it's so good. And opposite of Lizzie's. Lizzie's is like slow, but it's good.
Intense.
Parts of it's slow, parts of it's big.
Hard hitting.
Yeah. Love it.
Hello?
Anyway, this was good. This was a good sleepy conversation to have.
It was. It kind of accidentally felt like we just kind of like had therapy. Like I was like, why
Yeah,
does it feel like we're venting right now?
that's so funny. If you're not already, you can follow the podcast on whatever stream platform you use, so then you know exactly when an episode's coming out. And you can also follow us on Instagram at likewise_pod. And if you're interested in bookish stuff, you can follow us at Same Way Books on Instagram. Um, and then all of our other various personal, professional-ish accounts anywhere and everywhere else. So funny. Yeah. I'm I'm excited for October. It's gonna be so fun, but I also fear it's going to go so fast.
And it needs to slow down.
Yeah. Um sorry, I'm like so self-conscious because I start every single sentence with like in this past minute, I've used it like 8 times. Anyways, that's not the point. Um but this was so fun and I'm so grateful that we get to do this together every week. And Sam, I just hope you have a really great rest of your day.
Thanks, Issa, and likewise to you all.
Bye.